Today, man, very, very special guest, man. It's first time on Porter TV, man. This is probably like my personal favorite interview. I'm happy to do this. I'm happy to welcome my brother from another, Mally the Martian.
What's up, baby?
Man? Welcome to Porter TV, brother.
Man, I'm happy to be here. About damn time, nigga.
Man, it took a long time. 2 years, man. Yeah. 2 years, man. So, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling blessed. You know, I'm happy to see you. You know, we go a long way back, man. So
way back.
So, you know, I'm feeling good, man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm blessed, man. You know, I can't complain. I can't call it, man. I'm sitting here with you, man. So, you know, we gotta be somewhere good in life, man. I'm like you said, when we met, and people don't know, like, I tell people all the time, I was like, I got famous friends, man. And high place, like I'll be somewhere and people will just be playing songs like, my dude, my guy, he produced it, man, you know? And it's crazy where we come from, man. We started out, man, like you said, the lunchroom, and used to rap.
Yeah. And
I remember I came to the school, and you was probably the first person when I came to the Montgomery building, TFLC. I was so uncomfortable when I came because I'm like, this shit look like fucking jail.
Yeah, right.
One, I'm coming from Sky, and I got put off the football team, so, but you, Marvell and them, y'all always made me feel like family. Rest his soul.
Rest his soul, man.
Y'all made me feel like family. And Donnie.
Oh, man.
Let me tell you about the story about Donnie before we get to it.
Yeah.
A couple days before he died, man, he went out with, if I die, I went out like Donnie. Not how he did, but what he did before he passed is a memory of, we outside, man. He keep cracking on Black Corey, right?
Yeah.
And he busts out and moons this nigga granny on accident, right? Corey gets like, man, that's my granny. Man, he went down the street though about this time. Donnie stopped like, oh, I apologize, man, but you got a black ass grandson. I'm like, oh, that's the last time I seen him alive, man. Crazy.
Hey, you know, hey, yo, that's my first time hearing that.
What's
so crazy about him, man, is he might have been the single most funniest dude I ever met in my life. Like, because he 101. You ain't gonna meet nobody like him, funny, man. God rest his soul, man. That was my brother, man. Yeah.
So, let's get into it, man. When did the rap, did you start taking it serious? When did you start? Because I know your uncle had a rap group, Glass House, Mr. Wright.
Yeah.
So was he a big influence in your career or what?
Oh, absolutely. My whole family, just to give you a little backdrop, my grandmother, she's one of 18 kids. You know, we got uncles that played in bands, and one of my uncles played the drum. Well, he's, you know, great, or whatever, great or great, whatever. He played, great uncle. He played the drums for Howlin' Wolf, the blues singer.
The blues dude off the
it was on Cadillac Records and everything. He played drums for him and everything like that. So when it got, the music bug is in my family, and my uncle, he was doing this thing. He was out there like opening up for rappers like Spice One. He had, you know,
the thing with Too Short, didn't
he? Yeah, he did. Man, he met Pac. He talked to Pac. You know, he was trying to get on and do his thing. But I think, you know, I got a family full of women. They kind of beat up on him a little bit because they didn't understand. You know, rap was new. They're like, man, what you want to rap? You know what I'm saying? It kind of put the pressure on him. But by the time it got to me, I was headstrong enough to keep going. He was a heavy influence in our, you know, our lives. You know, he was our, that was our music guy.
He was the first guy to ever. I always knew how to play the piano. He's the first one to show me by ear. Let me by ear. And to remember, he took us to the studio. That was my first time to the studio.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know. I used to rap. You know.
Yeah.
Gary. I used to rap back in the day, but.
So right around the time where we was in high school, I was already, my mom bought me my first keyboard when I was 12. So by the time we met, we probably was like, what, 15, 16, right?
16, yeah.
So, you know, every day going to lunch was an event because we had guys like Donnie, we had Marvell, everybody was freestyling, you know, even Corey.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so we used to, you know, I put it in one of my songs about how Gary used to, you know, how he used to make the beats on the lunchroom table when we used to go. And so the seed was planted back then, and the passion was there. And I was pretty good academically.
Because you was already in college.
Yeah, I was going to college while I was in high school, man. They got me in this program, and I just did my work. and I was getting good grades, but I think after, you know, about 2 years of college, you know, it got real boring, and I felt like that passion was still pulling me away from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then, when you do that, you want to do X, Y, and Z, and you want to do music, but time is of the essence. So I can't go work a 40-hour-a-week job. So I was in the streets.
Yeah.
You know, doing my ones and twos, getting money and stuff like that.
So we get through that. Well, we was like 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to know. After that, we kind of lost it. Then we came back. Then boom, the Swagger Boys happened. How did that come about?
So Country called me. So this how the Swagger Boys thing happened like this. I met Country used to promote. He used to want, you know, he's a host and a party promoter.
Yeah.
You know, that was his MO. He got a real good personality and everything like that. He loved that mic. MCing is his thing. So I met him at, it used to be, remember this spot called Dreamers down they used to be downtown on a
by the
what street is it, Superior or something?
It's around the, everything is different. I think the motherfucker tore down actually.
Yeah, right, because it was over there where the Huntington is at on that same block. But it was a little night spot over there, and he used to, you know, promote the parties and everything like that. And I met him around that time, and then we just started chopping it up. And he was like, "Yo, I want to rap and all of that shit." And I was like, "Okay." Well, I was making beats on keyboards and rapping at that time.
You was on the Triton.
Yeah, on the Triton. Yeah,
like,
on the Triton and on the Motif. We were making beats on there, and my guy. I lost touch when it was a dude named D Roller. He had a Motif, and I used to make beats for him when we was rapping. You know, I used to make beats and rap with a bunch of people. But around that time, Country was like, "Yo, I got an idea, man. We need to make this song." And you know, and kind of like, you know, because everything was centered around back when we was doing that. It wasn't too cool to dance. Like that was our thing. Like we was dancing. Like clubs used to be real cool. You know, people too cool for school now. You know what I'm saying? Don't do nothing. Stand in the section with some bottles and you know, let people look at you like you in the zoo or something.
Yeah, they don't dance no more.
They don't dance no more. But
if you dance now, you kind of look weird.
You look weird, yeah. It look a little
yeah.
crazy now. But back then it was cool. Fun. It was cool. We had all of these dances. So when he Country pulled up to my mom's crib, my mom had this Kenwood stereo system, and I had the aux cord, I had the keyboards plugged up, all in this the top floor of my mom's crib. So I had this other beat, and he was like, "Yo, that's dope." But then I went to the Swagger beat. I had made him like a couple days after we talked, and he was like, "Yo, bro, this is it." I'm like, "All right, bet." So then on the flip side, Country knew Chief, right? But I knew Red. I knew Red from Al and Lonnie, and then when they used to throw the house parties and stuff when they was in school, the Kappa niggas. So I used to go over there, and one day we was just in the party, and it was dudes talking about he could rap, and I'm like, all right, I rap too. So I'm listening to him rap. I'm like, damn, dude, I ain't never heard nobody really rap like this from Toledo. Like he got some.
You talking about Red, right?
Red. I'm like, yo, he got some bars. So then I'm like, fuck it, I got some bars too. So I start rapping. He like, damn. And he said he was thinking the same thing. Like, where this nigga come from? So we ended up getting cool. And then Country was like, yo, we need to put, you know, my man Red on there. I'm like, I just met dude the other day. That's crazy. So me, Country, and Red end up doing it. Red and Chief had a group. So Chief wasn't on the original Swagger song. We ended up doing the Swagger remix, and that's when Chief had his verse on it. Okay. So then Chief ended up joining the group right after that. And we ain't even come up with the name. If you look at the first CD, it said Country, Red and Molly or something like that, Swagger song. And that was that. And a girl gave us that name.
Listen, I don't want to pause, I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah.
What's so crazy about the word swag, y'all was the first.
Yeah.
This is like, what, 2000?
Man, it's 2004, 5. 2004 and 2005.
Around that area, nobody was using that word like that. And that was crazy.
It just was.
Y'all was ahead of y'all time.
Right. And I think that's what made it happen. And, you know, one day, I don't know who it was. It might have been Chief. I think we was together though, and this girl was like, "Oh, y'all them Swagger Boys, huh?" He was like, "Oh yeah, we are." We went back to the drawing board like, "Yeah, that's our name," and we just did that. So the Swagger Boy thing was just like, you know, kind of like bubbly, like you know, I had a good sound. We had a good sound at that time, even though it wasn't as polished, but the idea was good, and then we was able to execute, and it blew up in Ohio and surrounding areas. And then we ended up meeting Sean Stockman and did something with him for like a year.
And that's what I want to get into. How did y'all meet him? Because I kind of remember, but I don't. Like, how did that come on? And Sean Stockton, for the people that don't know, that's the Boys and Men. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Boys and Men, one of the members of Boys and Men. How did he come here and find y'all?
His wife is from Toledo.
Okay.
She had a hair salon out Hill and Reynolds.
Yeah.
He was always low key in Toledo. I think they had their wedding in Toledo at one of the hotels here. Yeah. And so some country called me, and I'm selling dope a million miles per hour. So he called me, and he like, man, come down to the Blueprint. He said, Sean Stockman from Boys to Men, he got, you know, he doing this thing, he looking for talent and all that. And I'm like, well, man, I ain't really trying to do no talent show or nothing like that. Like, you know, we got a good song.
The king of financial shows.
Right, but the reason why Country called me is because in the middle of him doing the talent show, I think Country was hosting or something. They played the song, and everybody in there started doing the swagger dance, and they knew the words, word for word. So Sean was like, man, where's those guys at? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think at the time he had already had Infamous, he had Dre P, he had, I don't know who else he had around that time.
Damn, but I didn't know he had all these people.
Mm-hmm. It was a bunch of us who, and what he was trying to do is get people in production deals to kind of build them up and then move them into partner up with a major label for distribution, right? So, anyway, he had a second day because he was like, damn, it's a lot of talent in Toledo. Yeah. He seen something, right? So, by the time Country called me, this was the second, I'm like, all right, boom. I was out rotating kind of north side, downtown area. And so I got finished or whatever, and I shot over to the Blueprint. Shout out to, you know, Paul King and Martian and them. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
Had a lot of good nights after the Blueprint.
Yeah.
I made my baby after the Blueprint, but that's another episode.
Oh man, listen. Slam dunking after the Blueprint. I think I did too.
Hey, man, if you ain't making kids during the Blueprint era, you ain't.
I don't know what you was doing. We was jumping from the free throw line.
Listen, I wouldn't know. They used to be having fun. That's when before I became who I was playing 40 and 50. Man, but it was worth it.
It was worth it. It was worth it because we had Manos and then we had the Blueprint. Remember, it was that time frame. Yeah. And Toledo nightlife was something then.
Yes.
Because we had some Mr. Manos was cool. He, as old as he was, he let guys rock for a long time until niggas tore that shit up. Yeah. And then when the Blueprint happened, it was black owned. It was like a different vibe. It was like our nicest.
That was my first black owned owner to deal with. And
yeah.
Paul really cool.
Man, Paul, man, he a solid guy, man. You know, I picked up a lot of game from him and Marshall. You know, back then, man, they used to let me do what I wanted in there, man.
And I never knew until like a couple years ago, like, that was DJ Lightning Rod, brother. I never did.
Right. Yeah. When I found that out, it was crazy. But you know, Lightning Rod had a big role in popping the Swagger Boys. Big role. He did before it got to Rod. Rod broke the record, and then DJ Lou started spinning it. I think everybody did. I think Rod broke it, then Lou, and then Caution started spinning it a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout to the DJs and all of that, because you know that it was grassroots.
DJ.
It was very grassroots with that record.
But so you'll meet the Stockton guy. How you say Stockton?
Yeah, Stockton.
And why didn't it work? Why do you think y'all didn't go
to the next level?
Yeah.
I had a lot of time to think about this. So after we did our production deal with him, I did a deal as a producer, and I did a deal as a artists.
That's dope. I never knew that.
Yeah. So what I did is, you know, me and shout to my man Logic. He hustled Uncle, and him and I actually. Logic is the guy who brought me to start making beats on software, FYI, like Reason and all that, because I was using keyboards.
Yeah.
So he brought me over on the computer side and showed me how to use that program, and then I did my thing after that. So it was crazy. Shout out to Logic. So Logic came on board because he was engineering a lot of our stuff.
Yeah.
So he got Logic and he got me. So we were doing engineering stuff. Of course, I was in there producing records.
Yeah.
And then we had a studio. So we opened the studio out, Hill and Reynolds, and it was, Sean had everybody going through there. You know what I'm saying? And we was just making records. So he was developing. Infamous was always dope, and Dre P. That was young Dre P then, you know what I'm saying? Like young Dre P, he had it, and him and Infamous was doing like collab projects and everything, so they had something dope going. The problem is when you get that many people, you lose bandwidth, meaning you can't develop that many people at once. Because you don't, and his time is limited because he still has to go generate
like
money as Sean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Boys the Men,
for
people that don't know, they do
Boys and Men
200 something dates a year, tour dates a year. So it's like, so he provided, you know, to everything. It was like a year-long like thing because, you know, when you're in a production deal, you get 12 to 18 months to shop somebody.
Oh, wow.
So he was shopping different people to different labels. So he probably shopped Dre P to where he thought he could go. He took our stuff to Sylvia Rome.
Yeah.
And Sylvia was like, this is right when YouTube was starting. This was like, you know, Soulja Boy had used YouTube and all of that. And we had shot this crazy video. Did you come downtown that 4th of July, man? When we had, remember when Shadow Lounge, Margarita Rocks, all of that was down there. We shot a video in Margarita Rocks for the Swagger song, man. It was nuts.
I think I was there. I think I got kicked out. No, dead ass serious, man. Listen, man. Tell y'all this about him. He has I was the knucklehead. I was the knucklehead. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. But yeah,
I used to be punching niggas up and all of that shit, man. I remember like Gary was.
And it was just, I don't know. Remember the mob?
Oh yeah.
I came to school. I was like, the mob could protect me. The mob was everything.
Dude, I forgot about that. Niggas was really bad for real.
Man, we had a group in school called the mob, man, and man, we was running. And to get in, you had to do some grinding.
You had to do some shit to get into the mob. I don't even remember what man, yo, that shit was wild.
Yo. I remember, now I can say this on camera. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
I fuck Steven bitch. Whooper.
Wow.
That's how me and Whooper started going together. And the whole time he accused me, like, man, that ain't cool, y'all sneaking. I'm like, no. That's part of the reason I got in the mob.
That's how you got into the mob.
Everybody thinks it was a pleasure to do. I smashed Whooper.
And then you got in.
She don't know. When she see this, she gonna be like, she go flip. But I smashed, you know, and for everybody to know, this is a dude, we was all mob.
Yeah.
So when they tell me, like, shit, you can do that if shit going, but...
Damn.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
like, the only person that know that is probably me and Russia Soul, Marvell.
Yeah.
And I told him, he was like, shit, go ahead. That was crazy, though, man. That was crazy. And we just got all the way on time.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
But,
damn, that shit brought back memories, man.
But now we get to, okay, the thing didn't fall through with
Sean.
With Sean. So now what you thinking?
So after that year period, I'm like, man, look, mind you, we had, our song was going, it was blowing up. We done did a remix to it in Detroit. We done performed. We done got on a show with, you know, this girl named Megan Rochelle. She had a record out at that time. Boys the Men and In Vogue at the DTE. So it was 13,000 people when we performed. Yeah. So I'm seeing all of this stuff is happening. I'm like, this is cool. Meanwhile, me and Clemmy, I'm going to Philly with Clemmy. Clemmy would call me like, yo, I'm about to da-da-da-da, because he was still messing with, you know, cousin E and Free and all them. I'm like, cool, I'm going to take some beats out there. Like me me and Clemmy would go, or me, Clemmy, and Tobias would go and go down there and we'd try to place beats.
Yeah.
So all of this is happening at the same time. So after the deal dissolved with Sean, it was kind of like, you know, it was a punch in the gut. You know what I mean? And I was me being young, I was a little bitter towards Sean because I felt like, yo, we was right there, and I felt like, to me, I'm like, yo, you ain't go hard enough. But on the flip side, and being where I am now
you know.
I understand what happened. I understand the thing about bandwidth. I understand the thing about dollars and resources and having to put, you know, when you're signing people to production deals. So,
I got a wild story about Paul Kane when he was here and y'all bring to the Infinity.
yeah.
This nigga ain't go home for a while.
No.
Like, I'm like,
that's Paul, man.
I'm like, I see this nigga on the east side. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't want to know, man. There's just something about Toledo. Celebrities or people related to celebrities. And like, I got stories about certain celebrities or people that was with the celebrities, and you'll be somewhere you to see the nigga out in Walmart somewhere. You like, what the fuck?
You be surprised how many niggas got a Toledo story. I was talking to J. Cole. J. Cole got a Toledo story.
He do?
That's why he had that Mud Hens jersey on. And
I always wondered that.
Yeah, we asked him. I had me and Bugatti. Bugatti was with me one time, and we went to Made in America.
Yeah.
And we ended up doing this after party with it was like up on the museum steps. It's in Philly, so the Rocky Steps. The museum. Hov and them had a little after party, like a little thing for Beyonce's birthday. Her birthday is like, you know, on whatever September.
So you just can't. No, stop.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like,
I don't want to lightly gloss. I don't want to lightly gloss over because that night was crazy. But he was telling. We was in a circle talking. It was me, Fab, J. Cole, and Big Fendi, and Bugatti was standing next to me too. And we was just talking. We was like, yo, what was up with that Mud Hens jersey? And he was just like, yo, I remember having a tour stop. I had to be in Toledo for 2 days. We had a show at UT. He was telling me the whole rundown, man. He was like, yo, Toledo is like a fire little town. But we was talking about it because, you know, he's from Fayetteville.
Yeah.
So, like, if you go to Fayetteville, it's like the same type of... Fayetteville's a military town, though, but it's like the same small city type vibe. So, I don't know. Cole just had... Yeah, he just remembered,
that made sense, too, because a lot of people just be like, shit, it's like home. It's like you can walk around. You just go certain places, like... No, you can't walk around Chicago, but you will go to certain places like where I went, like out of town, man. Like New York, like Brooklyn. I'm gonna say bring out to Brooklyn. I feel like I was at home. It was just like so much. It's just bigger and faster, but it was just like this.
It be, you know what it is? Our black community is large but small at the same time.
Yeah.
So we used to, you know, remember in high school, you used to leave high school, go to another high school for lunch.
Yeah.
That's what we used to do back when we was in high school. You know, you'll pull up and I'm about to go to Rogers.
The weirdest shit I ever did.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I think Toledo definitely has something, you know, but a lot of times that we talking about that ceiling, that ceiling, it sparks fear in the people. So people stop at the ceiling, they don't go past it. So when I got to go back to even on as far as me leaving and Kane stayed in Toledo, by the way, with skits with Mario who do the tattoos, and he just was like, man, I want to stay here and do my whole sleeve. And him and Mario, like, they got the same like personality traits. So Kane is that type of guy. He come and be right at home, and he was like, I'm gonna stay out here a week. I left. I was gone. I left Ohio, and he still was here. I said, word. I said, go check this person. Go do, you know what I'm saying?
They said the nigga was at the wash.
Yeah.
South the beach.
Yeah.
They said he was at the wash.
Yeah, Kane, man, like Kane, man, look, and Kane feel like he's so tied into Toledo because, you know, he think, you know, Chief and Clemmy is two of Kane's favorite rappers, and they both from Toledo. Kane is just that type of dude. That's my brother. And a lot of people don't know, Kane's dad used to live in Cincinnati. Oh. So Kane was fucking up in New York. His mama sent him to Cincinnati, live with his daddy for a couple years. You know what I'm saying?
So you get you and Paul Kane. So
my bad. I call him because I've never felt this low before, man. I'm down, you know, I'm down $40,000 and I'm down another $40-some thousand in an apartment building me and my man got, and it's just sitting there because of the area. And this is fresh off of the economic downturn of the recession. You know? So wasn't nothing on the real estate side really moving or anything like that. And so I'm sitting there. I'm sitting in my grandma's living room. She don't know. I can't tell grandma what's going on. So she just, I'm over at her house. She just like, oh, it's normal, you know. She just enjoys me being there. But I'm in the living room with the lights off. And I call Kane. I'm like, yo, Kane, man. You know, I'm basically going to go left because I'm on some real, like, you know, my pride is hurt. And I feel myself going into a place I never went. And then he was just like, yo, man, it's just time for you to come out here. Like, for good. I'm like, word? So I was just like, shit, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I talked to Kane and I talked to Nate Washington. Yeah. Me and Nate was talking because Nate kind of knew a little bit of the background of my situation. And he was just like, look, man, if you're going to do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to send you some money. Just go out there. So I had a little bit of money. Nate sent me a little money. Probably had, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500, $1,000 to my name. And went to New York and ain't looked back. You know what I'm saying? Was in Harlem. It was crazy. It was crazy.
So when you get up there, like, how did you meet? Let's get straight into it. How did you meet Fab?
So, Pete, the reason why I was able to call Kane is because maybe in 2008, it was 2008 or somewhere around there, me and Clemmy, we used to always do these road trips. And Clemmy knew he could call me and I up jump and go. You know what I mean? I ain't had no job. It's like, let's go. So we went to Chicago. Freeway was on the bill. It was Fab. It was Fat Joe. It was a lot of people on this bill. But the promoter was kind of janky. Didn't have the other half. I think he owed Free another half, or he owed Fab another half. I think Free got his money, but I think Dude owed Fab another half. So Fab stayed at the hotel. Yeah. So we all out in the middle. We in Oak Brook, which is outside of fucking Chicago. Yeah. And we all at this hotel. I think Lupe Fiasco was even there. And we all out at this hotel way far out. Ain't no hoes coming out there, man. It's too far. So I'm just in the lobby with my laptop. And Kane come downstairs. So Kane come downstairs. I already knew who he was. I already was following the Clue, all of the Clue tapes, the Triangle Offense when it was Joe Budden, Kane, Fab. You know what I mean? Ransom. All of them. You remember that? Remember that? And we used to, I don't know how we used to get them out here.
I have no idea.
The CD mans used to have them shits, right?
Crazy, like Audio Galaxy. That's how I used to get it.
What was that?
That's the name of the website. Remember, I had the dial-up shit. Man.
Oh, and yeah, you was ahead of the game.
I was ahead of the game, but I had dial-up, so I'm around stay up to about 4 or 5 in the morning till I got a Clue tape. Or I got the newest Jay-Z discs, the Takeover disc, all that shit. Like, I remember I stayed up, man. I was late to school because I wanted to download Cameron.
That shit was slow as
Jay-Z
fuck.
disc, yes.
That shit was slow.
And don't let nobody call the phone.
Yeah,
I think we're showing our age too much on.
Yeah. Somebody call the phone and fuck up the download. You know what I'm saying?
Everything, man. I didn't want no pussy. I wanted the Clue tape at that time. Don't call this house phone at all.
Yeah. I need to get this tape, but so I met Kane out in Chicago. So then fast forward to that point, around 2011. So when that decision happened, me and my partner Omar Khan, who is Dr. Khan, he's a kidney surgeon now.
Oh, wow.
But Omar, he was making beats back when I was a rapper, and that's how we met. And he used to come over on Islington where me and Donnie used to stay at. Yeah. So he knew Donnie and all of that, God rest his soul. And so he had to do interviews. Me and him was always road dogs. Yeah. So we get in the car and shoot out to New York. And Ken was like, yo, just pull up. We had a studio crib. He like, yo, pull up. You know what I mean? Let's work on some stuff. My brother here, whatever the case may be. So the first time I went out there, Fab used to host these poker games. They was playing poker or whatever the case may be. And we went in the studio. Was in there playing beats. Kane was I was producing a lot of Kane's tapes back then too. I had, I would have 4 and 5 songs on there. I would put verses on there. And so to kind of fast forward into me meeting Fab or whatever.